Hey Tammy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you busy right now?
I just got back from band practice, about to do some homework.
Okay, well, my mom wants to talk to you really quick.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Tammy said anything to you, but she is pregnant. You guys have a couple of options. You can either get married or she can have an abortion. So y'all have some decisions to make.
No girlfriend of mine is gonna get an abortion. Well, I guess we're gonna plan a wedding.
I was a freshman in college. She was a junior in high school, and we met in a play where it was called The Wedding Band, and I was the lead character in the play, and male, and she was the lead female. And it's interesting, but we got married in the play. And so just during rehearsal and practice with that play, we just kind of hit it off, and to break up with my other girlfriend. But it happens. So that's how we met.
My mother has always felt like there was more to life, and she grew up fairly poor, and she worked for a couple that they had a lot more than she had ever seen before, and she has always been the driver that says, you know, I want more for my kids. I want them to have more. But in the meantime, we were living and they were using credit cards, and we got the new outfits at Easter and stuff. And so I thought that was normal. I didn't know where the money was coming from. So that when we got married, that's how we lived.
But we found ourselves to be really bankrupt, broke. We had expenses that were here and income that was here. And I woke up one day and I didn't have the money to pay the bills that were there. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that I was a failure as a man to my family. Now, I've never had utilities turned off, never been homeless or anything like this, but I felt helpless in that moment.
We were living paycheck to paycheck, and Cedric had a very similar background, so he had a little more financial backing, where his grandfather was pretty much, you pay cash for everything and so forth. And so I think the two of us together realized there had to be more than living paycheck to paycheck, but yet having everything that we want.
I found a guy who was teaching financial literacy, and I would drive 2 hours every Saturday to his workshop. And he told me it was going to cost $200 for a system, but I didn't have $200. I mean, we were just that broke. We scraped up to $200, and he said, Cedric, if you follow this process, it's going to change your life forever.
And from there, we were just determined that we were going to get out of debt, and we were going to start living a lifestyle that was better than our parents. And that's how we started.
I had dreams about this particular house. I didn't know what the dreams meant at the time. This was when we were in our old house. I kept having dreams of we're in a 2-story house. I kept having dreams of being in a 3 or 4-story house. Didn't know what they meant till we started building here, and we found this plan online. And I went, that's what the dream was. And so then we fell in love with this plan and built this house. And as I sit here today, I absolutely love how it came out.
Well, I'm happy for them. I know he really wanted this. Well, he really wanted to live by water. That was the main thing. And don't matter where it was, I want to live by water. I want to live by water. But this, I wasn't expecting this at all.
Well, they're a lot farther away, and I don't know how I feel about that part. But because I know that this is something that they've wanted for a long time, and they were able to get the house that they wanted and all the things in it that they wanted, that makes me really happy for them. And it's kind of like I can go on vacation without having to pay, to go on vacation, right?
Now, it's interesting, but we own some land on the Calcasieu River in Louisiana. That's where we're from. And I, in fact, own several pieces of property that we grew up on. We voted, my wife and daughter and son, and I got outvoted 3-1. I wanted to go to Louisiana and they wanted to be here. So you see where we are, right? But the vision was to be on the water. We didn't know what the house was going to look like or anything like this.
We own this house debt-free. And so we work very hard to stay within our guidelines of owning this home and building it to our satisfaction, yet not allowing ourselves to get into any debt with it. So this is truly a dream home. It's not just the building. It's a lifestyle change for us, and I hope it's an example for our kids.
We're not decorators. Our houses have normally just been plain. So we decided to hire an interior designer. And we specifically said we wanted to hire a Black interior designer. And my thought process was that not many times, at least my belief was, an interior designer, a Black interior designer, will get an opportunity to build, to decorate a house at this level. We selected an interior designer. She came highly recommended. So then we gave her and her team the authority to pick everything.
One of the things that we did have to compromise on was having someone come in and decorate for us. And so, I mean, the beauty of what she did was well worth it. I mean, she did a lot of the selections for us in the building process. And that was extremely helpful because I'll pick it, it'll be cute, but it might not go with anything. So she was a blessing to us.
I like a quote that says, if you do the things today that no one else will do, you can do the things tomorrow that no one else can do. And writing a personal check for this house is something that most people can't do, right? That was one of my goals for this part of the journey, is to leave from here, don't have a mortgage. You can just do what you want to do when you want to do it and how you want to do it. And now I can't say we did it on our own. Lord upstairs provided this and blessed us with His grace. We have to be diligent in teaching our kids about finances when they're young. You see, when my kids were growing up, I would show them my paycheck. I would show them bonus checks, right? So that they understand. And I would show them my 401k as it was growing so they could understand why it was important to put money up.
He started having us invest even when we didn't want to. He started giving us as like birthday presents, just things that he invested in for us, so we can just understand, like, this is how you do it, or this is what's happening with your money. So those little gifts kind of instilled in us to maybe this is the right way, because I mean, we didn't know anything about investing until he told us. We didn't even know what that was. Even if it's $1, just put it in every time you get paid, or every time you get some type of money, because that builds and it grows over time. And the earlier you start, like I did, I think started investing when I was like 13 or something like that. It just grows over time, and now, I mean, you can see it. It's much greater than what it was when it started.
He would, instead of just moving money to like a mutual fund or whatever, he would be like, come sit here and watch me do it, and this is why I'm doing it, and this is how I'm doing it. Talk a lot about where he gets his like information for research on what mutual fund to pick, or the best ways to save money so it can grow, things along those natures. So a lot of conversation and watching. And then obviously we're able to see the product of that.
My mom and my grandparents they mean the world. I wish they were here to see this. You know, I used to think about when I used to go cut yards with my grandfather was a kid. And we'd go cut, we call it the white people's yard. Big houses, big old yards and all this type of stuff. And now I pass by those houses and go, the house is not really big. The yard may be big, but the house is not really big. But back then, to me, they were big houses and they were out of our reach. To be here today is, it's an amazing journey. When I think about this house going forward for my kids, to where we came from, to where we are today, and I'm going to die off. And then they're going to take it and go farther. I want to build this legacy for them, and also let them help them understand that they have a responsibility now to carry this legacy to the next level, whatever that next level looks like for them. But this is the standard.